All right, good evening, traders. Today is, well, it's 8 o'clock at night. It's the free room webinar every Tuesday. All right, it's usually one of us on here. It's either me or Rick or Doug. Well, tonight it's January 9th. It's my night. Tuesday night, 8 o'clock meeting in the free room. All right, so tonight we're going to talk about the benefits of VWAP and AVWAP. Now, the A just stands for anchored VWAP. So we'll go to the next slide here. So that's me, John Kerrigan. That's our trading room right there, BYOB Trading.com. There's my email address. All right. And there's my YouTube account. So in case you want to come back and review this or some of the other webinars I had, you'll find them on my YouTube. Now, some of them are private, and we reserve those for the members. All right, so consider a membership. Membership has its privileges. All right, let's go to the next one. Thank you for being here. I believe your time is valuable. This webinar is being recorded. It's going to be on my YouTube channel. This PowerPoint presentation is also available. Just email me. I'll send it to you. The disclaimer, okay. Trading involves risk. You need to do your own due diligence, all right? We're not responsible for your trades. We're just sharing what we do, all right, to make money in the markets. That's it, all right? You need to do your own due diligence and just test these strategies out. I have no problem with anybody trading a paper account, for 1, 2 months, 2 weeks, 2 days, whatever it takes for you to completely understand the strategy before you employ it. So think about that. You're not going to lose any money just practicing on a paper account. That's it. All right. So everybody that knows me, all right, knows that I'm a day trader. All right. So I trade a shorter time frame. All right, I like trading the 10-minute chart. When I open up in the morning, I have a 2-minute chart on. Then I flip to a 5 after about, maybe quarter to 10, maybe 10 o'clock, I'm on a 5. And then by 10:15, 10:30, I'm on a 10-minute chart. And I just love my 10-minute charts. And I'm a day trader. I like quick, fast action. I trade fast. That's just what I like. I like to get money real fast. All right. My preference, I like to trade SPY options because they are highly liquid. All right. I can make a lot of money trading, when I can pick up, well, let's say I can control, $10,000, $20,000 worth of SPY indices with, maybe just $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000, and I can control that amount of capital with just an option. It's the leverage behind the options, they give you the power. So once you got the direction right and you pick the right option, you can make a lot of money. You can really make your account grow. And I've been working with the SPY since, for a long time now. And I just love SPY options. They're highly liquid. I especially like to trade the ones on Fridays because they have much more liquidity. And I just enjoy it, and I've had a whole lot of success just trading SPY options. I've had success trading other products as well, but most of my success and most of my growth has come from understanding options and trading the SPY options because they're highly liquid. All right, now my choice is the 10-minute chart, and what I like to trade is the 3 EMA crossing over the 8 EMA. Now, if it crosses up and over on a 10-minute chart, I like to play that long. If it crosses down and under, then I like to play that short. Now, I prefer these crosses to happen over anchored VWAP or over VWAP. I prefer that. There'll be times when they happen, how am I going to say it, on the other side of VWAP, and I still take it. But let me just tell you, I have more success when I take these crosses. So when I take the bearish cross under VWAP, I have more success with it. And when I take the bullish cross, that would be the 3 EMA is going to be your faster moving average. When I take that above VWAP, that would be volume weighted average price. When I take that above VWAP, I have more success. So, I mean, I'm not against taking it when it's on the other side. I have taken it before, but I'm just going to tell you right now, I have a whole lot more success when the bearish cross happens under VWAP and the bullish cross happens over VWAP. Or sometimes I just wait for the price action or the candlesticks to move up over VWAP, and then I enter there. So there's a strategy, all right? I like to trade in the direction of the market, all right? So if the market's moving up, I want to trade stocks or indices that are also moving up. My success is 110% dependent on my ability to follow rules. When I don't follow my rules, I lose. It's that simple. You got to set yourself a set of rules. All right? You got to write them down and you got to follow your own rules. If you break your rules, you find yourself in chaos. It'll be chaotic. But when you follow your rules, you'll find that success will come so much easier and so much faster. All right, so let's talk about VWAP. All right, so what is VWAP? All right, so VWAP is just an acronym. All right, it's volume weighted average price. It's an acronym. All right, V for volume, W for weighted. You guys get it? Okay. It's the average price that shares are traded at from the beginning of the trading day. It will act like a moving average. Okay, so VWAP starts brand new at the beginning of every trading day. All right, if you went to a 2-day chart, VWAP will not show up. Anchored VWAP might show up if you moved it back far enough, but VWAP will not show up. You actually have to drill down into the daily chart, into the intraday chart, in order to see VWAP. At least you do on my platform. All right, and a lot of other people have the same situation. You're not going to find VWAP on the weekly average or a weekly chart or a monthly chart or anything, a 3-day, 4-day chart. Okay, you're going to find it on the intraday chart. You only can find it on the intraday chart, and most platforms offer VWAP. If your platform does not offer VWAP, I'd seriously consider changing. It's up to you, but me, I can't live without it. I don't use volume. All right, if you ever look at any of my charts, volume is scrunched down to the very bottom. I can't even read it. I don't think anybody can read it. I never use it. VWAP is so much more important to me because it tells me the average price according to volume, where price moved, where price traded at in that segment of time. And it's a moving average, so it's going to move when price moves. You'll see even anchored VWAP moves with price. So let's go to the next slide here. Let's see if I can scoot over. Here we go. I'm getting it. I'm a little slow. All right, so what is anchored VWAP? All right. Anchored VWAP is anchored volume weighted average price. Same thing, right? Okay, it's an acronym. But it's the average price shares traded at from the place and time where it is anchored. You can anchor this anywhere. All right. Preferably, it's, you're better off anchoring it, I don't know, 2 or 3 days back. That's where it works out most. But a lot of times when you get a big gap up in the morning, if you want to put an anchored VWAP right there, I have done that before. Again, it will also act like a moving average. All right. So where should I place my anchored VWAPs? All right. I can't tell you where to place them. All right. But I'm going to tell you where I place them because it makes the most sense to me. All right. Now I place them at the beginning of the previous day, and I'll give you an example of why I do that. All right. I like to place them at the all-time highs, the all-time lows. I like to place them at the yearly highs and the yearly lows. And let's say you were working with SPY and SPY made, let's just say, a higher low. Well, I like to place it on that higher low. Let's just say SPY made a higher high. Well, I like to place it up there on that higher high, okay, on the daily chart. I'm talking about the daily charts, all right? I like to place them on that 10-minute candle before the FOMC announcement. I like to place them on that 10-minute candle before the earnings statements. Then you get a gap up. I'll put another one up as soon as that first 10-minute candle, completes. I'll put one at the top up there where the first 10-minute candle ended on an earnings statement. And that can tell me whether I want to buy into this this hype or whether I want to get out. So those are the places that make sense to me. And those are the places I like to set them. Now you can set them anywhere you want to. All right, but those are the places that make sense to me. FOMC statement, okay? Is it going to be a pump and dump situation? That's what I want to know. All right, are they gonna buy it all up, and then what? Are they gonna hold it up there? Are they gonna hold it up there just till the end of the year, and then they're just gonna pull the bid and let it drop? That's what I want to know. I want to know what's going on. Are they buying because interest rates are so low and they're not going to they're not going to raise rates this coming quarter or this coming month. Instead, they're just going to hold off. See, that's the kind of stuff I want to know. How's the market reacting to announcements like that? Okay, and that's what makes sense to me to where to place them there. Okay, so how do I interpret the price action in relation to the anchored VWAPs? All right, it's simple. You don't have to complicate it. Okay, if the price action is moving up and away from anchored VWAP, in other words, it's running away, then money would be moving into the market or that particular security. Let's say it's Amazon or AMD, Taiwan Semiconductors, okay? That means it favors the bulls, all right? So if price action moves up and away from the anchored VWAP, then money is moving into the market, all right? If price action is moving down and away from the anchored VWAP, all right, then money is moving out of the market or out of the security, and that's going to favor the bears. Okay, so that's how I use it for market direction. All right, is money coming in this morning or is money coming out, or are they still just undecided because the dollar's still in the same spot? That's how I use it. All right, so let's take a look at a few charts I've got here. Hopefully I can get them to work right. Okay, and this one is just VWAP. That's my gold line. Now notice when price action starts out the next day, see how jerky it gets? And then it smooths out. All right, then it gets jerky right here. Okay, because you don't see that kind of jerk right in the middle there, right? See how it jerks? Well, that's because it starts brand new from the very first share that's traded. And then it trades up through here. Okay? So that's why VWAP is an intraday moving average. It's the average price that the shares sold for. So if you took all the shares that sold today, okay, the average price would be wherever this is right here, right about 472. If you took all the shares that traded today, the average price that they all traded for is 472. Now what I like to see is price action, see this? Run up and away from VWAP, up and away, or down and away. Those are my opportunities. It got jammed up, down and away, all right? It clears the jam up first thing in the morning, up and away. That's what I'm looking for. I'm a 10-minute trader. This is my 10-minute chart. I'm looking for the 3 crossing over or under the 8, okay? So my 3 is this yellow line, all right? And then the gray line, that's my 8. So there's the 3 EMA, the 8 EMA, and then this is the VWAP, all right? VWAP changes, okay, according to how many shares traded and what the new average price is. Okay, so you see that? So here's price action trading up and away. Now notice at the very first minutes, see how VWAP chases price down right there. All right, so we'll go to the next slide. All right, now this is anchored VWAP. All right, see the pink line? That's anchored VWAP. I anchored this on the previous day's opening candle on the 10-minute chart. Okay, now how do I use this and how do I make money with it? Because that's really what you came here to learn, right? How do I make money with this anchored VWAP? All right, this is how I do it. Okay, you see this move down. See these 5 10-minute candles down. Okay, notice how price clears those 5 10-minute candles down. First candle out of the gate, and it's up over VWAP. So the very first candle, the first 2 minutes is green. So the greens draw, so the bulls draw first blood. You see that? It goes up. That's where I want to get in. You cleared this selling action. All right, see, price clears it. It's up over it. That was resistance, and now we're above that resistance. So I'm going to buy this and let it go for as long as it wants to go. And you notice here we got a 3/8 cross. You see the yellow line crossing over the gray one? There's a 3/8 cross, but this cross happened underneath the anchored VWAP. But yet now we've got a candle that wiped out red, okay? So here's red, here's a red candle, and now green wipes out the red candle right there. That would be like bullish engulfing right there. If you just took this segment, let's just get this. If you just took this price action that took off from here down to here, okay, you see how green wipes out the red. All right, this would be red because it's moving down. Green wipes out red. There's your chance to get in. First green candle. You got the 3/8 cross right there, and you got space. Now this one happened to work out to be our flagship trade, which is called the trend day. All right, so we knew in the BYOB room that if between 11 and noon, price action and the 3 EMA and the 8 EMA were all up over regular VWAP, okay, between 11 and noon, that 9 out of 10 times that 3 was going to ride all the way up over the 8 the whole day long. Okay, so we knew that. We knew there was a good chance. We didn't know it was going to happen, but we knew 9 times out of 10 it was going to happen, so we stayed in it, and we played this, well, from 470 clear up to 474. All right, so that's what we do in the BYOB room. All right, that's my flagship trade right there, the 10-minute cross over VWAP. I get in. I don't have to get out until the 3 crosses back over the 8. You see that? I don't have to get out till the 3 crosses over the 8. Now, when it gets way up there, I go to a 15-minute chart. All right? Because I want to stay in longer. I use a 15-minute chart, and that way I can stay in these trades longer. Now, this one just happened to be the 10 never crossed because the trend day kicked in. So notice the 3 never crosses over the 8, and it rides it the whole way up. So how many of you hold a trade from all day long, from beginning of day to the end of day? That's a hard thing to do, all right? That's really hard to do. And to know when and what day to do that on, okay, that's where BYOB comes into play, okay? Because we know what's going to be the day you want to do that. Other days, you just want to take the next rally and take your profits. But that's what we do here in BYOB. All right? We were holding this from right here, the first candle. We even played the last candle. I played the last candle as a thriller trade right there. All right? So that's a 10-minute cross. Over anchored VWAP. Price is moving, look, up and away from anchored VWAP. All right, that's what we want to find. Price moving up and away from anchored VWAP. All right, go to the next slide. All right, on this slide, we have the 2-day anchored VWAP. Notice the price action, the 3 and the 8, all right, are moving up and away from the 2-day anchored VWAP. I just covered that before. Just a repeat of what's going on, all right? This one, I like trading the 10-minute trend. Here's the 3 crossing over the 8. I like to get in. Now you notice, if you use regular VWAP, notice VWAP chases price down. If you go back to the previous slide, you see how anchored VWAP stabilizes and allows you that entry. See over here, see how jerky VWAP gets because it starts out brand new on the very first candle. So you don't got any candles that are clear of VWAP until you get up to here. Now, who wants to start trading at 10:30 in the morning? All right? This is when all the volume's coming in, right? The very first hour. That's where I want to be. I want to be right next to the market. I want to be in with the market. All right? So that's why I have a 2-day anchored VWAP. And what I do is I anchor it on the previous day's opening 10-minute candle. All right? That way I can see, is price moving away, up and away, or is it moving down and away? All right? This helps me with market direction every single morning. Is price moving up and away from that 2-day anchored VWAP, or is it moving down and away? This will help you. Once you got market direction, you got probably 2/3 of the battle licked. Just knowing market direction. Is price moving up and away, or is it moving down and away? All right, just getting market direction right. Picking the option, that'll come with time. That won't take long at all. It's the market direction that seems to trip a lot of traders up. Okay, so I take the anchored VWAP, I anchor it on the day before the first 10-minute candle of the day. All right. So here is, let me go back here. I like trading the 10-minute trend. Notice the 3 is up over the 8. Yeah, we did that slide. All right. Notice the price action. All right. This is what happened today. Okay. Notice we left off the day before up here, and then we gap down $3 right here. Notice the price action is being supported. That gold line is daily VWAP. This is multi-day VWAP. This is daily VWAP, the gold one. Notice the price action is being supported by VWAP. Okay, so right here, you see it supported. You got a bullish engulfing on the 10-minute chart. You see the 3 cross over. There's your entry right into that. And you can ride it up to this wick up here if you want to take some off there. Or you can wait till it crosses right up there, 473. But you get to get in down here, 472.25 or whatever, down there. So it comes up and away. So we traded this up. Now this went as high as, that's not supposed to do that. All right, so this went as high as 475 today. All right, so you can see we were down here around 472.50 getting into this, and this went all the way up to 475. Now notice price action comes back and it bounces. All right, so the market is finding value. Goes back up, can't make a higher high, comes back, bounces again, bounces again, bounces again, bounces again. You see that? The market's finding value every time it gets close to VWAP. That's what you're seeing. All right? Now, a lot of institutions will put in orders, all right, where they want a market maker to get them $2 million of shares of one particular product. It might be, I don't know, General Mills, and they want them to get it at better than VWAP, all right? So that market maker will do everything he can to manipulate the market so that he can get and fill that order. Now, anything he gets that's better than VWAP, that's his bonus, all right? So it's on his best interest to whip the market around so that he can get better than VWAP. He wants you to give up your position. So a lot of market makers use VWAP very often. All right? A lot of institutions use VWAP. They put in orders. I want you to sell at better than VWAP. I want you to sell my 2 million shares at better than VWAP. And they pay big bucks to have that done. So that's why VWAP is such a popular and powerful moving average that you could use over and over. Now, volume doesn't tell me anything. I've never gotten a trade. I've never looked at volume and said, geez, I want to take that trade. I've always looked at price and its relationship to VWAP and anchored VWAP. Volume has never told me anything that said, John, buy this or John, sell this. Price action is always king. And the way it reacts and relates to VWAP, to me, is between price action and VWAP. And you got those two moving averages there. You know, that's all gold to me. That and the 200 period moving average. All right, so this is my success. I started out with 32K last year in March, 32,000, all right? And I doubled it, tripled it, quadrupled it, quintupled it, whatever, all right? 25 times. And I closed the year with $804,000 up there. And my preference is to trade the SPY options. If you're not trading SPY options, I urge you to learn them. If you're not trading options, I urge you to learn them. If you're not familiar with the SPY, I urge you to check it out. If you're not doing the SPY and you're doing the QQQ, I can understand you're more comfortable with the QQQ. But I'm telling you, You want to double your account. You want to triple your account this year. Learn options or come into the BYOB room and learn them with us and trade right alongside of us. I'm just saying, learn options. Now, it might be scary at first, but hey, anything worth a damn in life is gonna be a little bit difficult, okay? It's gonna take a little bit of time, but when you learn it, your whole trading is going to your mentality is going to change, and the account you'll get up in the morning and you can't wait to trade because you'll just know what to do. Oh, it's the 10-minute cross. It's up over VWAP. I'll take some of that. All right. You'll just know what to do every single morning. You'll get in. You can't wait to trade. When's the market going to open up? Why is it not open on Saturday? I don't understand this. When you learn options and you start doubling and tripling your account, that's when the magic's going to start happening. And you're close. You're so close. But you got to get that 10-minute trend. You got to have that self-discipline. You got to follow your rules. All right? And you got to understand VWAP. And market direction is number 1. Okay? And money management and trade management. All right? When you get those, you're going to do wonders with your account. You really will. I did. If I can do it, anybody can do it. All right. So this is what it's like in the BYOB room. All right. This is me. I just give out alerts, and you can see on these alerts. You can see right. Here. SPY 471.35. Bingo. Second target hit. Oh wait, correction. Bingo. Third target hit. Right? So each one of these green lines was a target. So we got in here. You can see right there. SPY price over 469.26. I'm going to buy 50 calls right there. All right? First target, 470.40 right there. And we just nailed it. And then I said, hey, you know what? This might be a trend day. And you know what? We said, hey, let's reload. And we went up some more. And we hit the next target. And then we hit the next target. And we hit the next target. And then the next target. And then the next target. And then we did the thriller trade at the very end of the day. And it was just a beautiful, wonderful day. Green day. Moving up. Never got out. Taking profits and reloading. You got a red candle, you reloaded right over the top of that red candle. If you weren't in, you were able to jump in right there. You can see I give alerts around the clock. I do as much as I can. I'm a trader myself. All right, so I'll put out as many alerts as I can. I'm always talking. You're better off if you're in the room and you're listening to me. Okay, I'm just going to say that because I do miss a few alerts sometimes. But this is day trading, okay? Things move fast. All right? So, you got a 10-minute wick. That wick might not take 10 minutes. It might only be, 10 seconds that wick was up there. Well, that's something I take profit in. I see a wick shoot up or a big candle, I'm going to take profit. So I don't have time to just write an alert up for everything. All right. So here it is. Thanks for being here tonight. Come get a 30-day trial, only $24.50. Now I'm going to take questions. All right. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to put my charts up, and I'm going to answer a whole lot of questions. I'm sure you guys got a lot of questions. I'm sure you guys were yelling at me or chatting at me. Oh, here's self-awareness and self-discipline right there. All right? No single requirement for success as important as self-discipline. Right there. All right, let me knock my chart up here. I'm going to go check out the room. and we'll answer some questions. Move this out of the way. Okay, will this be uploaded? Yes, Sean, it will be. It's actually being double recorded. I got it in the room right here. See that? I hit the recorder there. And I got it on Camtasia. All right? I didn't know if I was going to have enough room, so I want to make sure. Yeah, it's going to be on YouTube. All right? And where on YouTube? All right, let me just go to the top. All right. Here's my YouTube address right there. YouTube/@BeYourOwnBoss. There's an underscore here. So it's be-your-own-boss right there. Okay? If you want the PowerPoint, you just email me. I'll send it to you. All right. Do I ever trade futures? If not, why? I haven't gotten into them yet, Don. I got a lot of people in the room that are doing it, and boy, are they're trying to get me into it. All right. I just have a personal corner to turn real quick here, and I hope to do it this month or next month, and then after that, I plan on getting an Apex account. That's what I plan on doing, and I can't wait to do it. Have I ever found the deviation bands around VWAP to be useful? Yes, George, I have, but I'm a 10-minute trader, okay? I mean, it's nice, but I'm going to stay in that trade until the 3 crosses the 8. So yes, they are useful, but I like to try to stay in as long as I can, all right? If I see a big candle, I like to either protect my profits in that big candle by moving my stop up or farming some off up above and reloading on some tail or dip. See, like a dip came in here. So I like to, sell 5 or 6 contracts up here and reload them down here. I'll sell 10, 20 contracts up here and reload them down here. We'll actually reload them right here. I really was not planning on this one right here, but I kind of knew this was going to bounce, so believe it or not, I bought it, and it worked out great. Sorry for the caps. No problem, Rob. Where to place anchored VWAP? Where to place anchored VWAP and anchored VWAP? Do you set at the close? Okay, right here, Rob. All right. For tomorrow. All right. When you open up tomorrow, you take your anchored VWAP. See the first 10-minute red candle right there? That's where my anchored VWAP is going to get placed. Right there. Because if it gaps up here, I want the anchored VWAP to tell me what's going on. All right. So like on this day right here, I put it on this candle right here. Right there. So you see price cleared. See green wipes out red. That was resistance. Green wipes out red. We're over anchored VWAP. The bulls strike first blood. I'm buying some calls. I called it first thing. There you go. I'm in. Taking profit here. Oh, wait. It's a trend day. Let's reload. Boom, boom, boom. So on this day right here, this anchored VWAP was planted right there. Okay, so before the first candle came off, that's where it was. So tomorrow morning, this is where my anchored VWAP will be, on that red candle right there. Okay, right there on that red candle, the very first candle of the day. Because this could get jerky. Okay, it could be down here. It could be up here. And I want to know, is price moving back towards the anchored VWAP, or up and away, or is it moving down and away? Okay, that's what I want to know. So this will be my first one. Where else do I have my anchored VWAPs planted? Okay, because I know you're going to ask that question next, Rob. All right, so I take one, I put it on the high. Okay, there's the yearly high up there. I put one there. All right, the other one I had planted, this is the FOMC announcement right there. See that on the 13th? I take one, this is where my other one goes, right there. All right, so prior to the FOMC announcement, see the price action rip up over it, and now they're not so interested. Oh, wait, they are. All right, and they put in a higher low right here. Okay, so I got one on the FOMC announcement. And don't forget, Thursday, we got CPI coming out. Things might get jerky. So, might want to plant one. You can't really do it because the market's going to open up. Okay. You must have gold or platinum to do the drawing tool. Okay. All right, Jack. That could be possible. All right, so I got one on the low on the anchored VWAP here and one up here. Now I could plant one more on this low if I wanted to. All right, let's just say this low right there. Okay, and I like to see, a lot of times you'll see price action come back to an anchored VWAP and then bounce off. You'll see it over and over and over. See, here's my other anchored VWAPs. I got one planted on the yearly low here. I got one planted on the 2022 high there. And you see how price came up to it and traded underneath it. See, that's how I know we're in a downtrend. Price is running away from the anchored VWAP. Price comes up to it, and it can't produce a higher low, and it trades back down away from it. See that? Comes back to it, and look how it kisses it. And like the kiss of death, it runs away. Right there. See that? Comes back, can't hold a higher low above it, trades away. Finally, we get up, and we're able, see how it tests it? Not once, because they got the kiss of death 2 or 3 times already. All right, so not once, they test it twice. Right there, that anchored VWAP, see that? See how powerful this is? And then they take off. You see that? They come in, they test the back side of it, boom, boom, and now back up. All right? Now look at this fall. Boom, boom. You got the anchored VWAP low, that's the yearly low, the yearly high. And look how price action came into both of them and reversed on a dime right there. Okay? Does it matter if it's on high or low? Well, I want one on the previous high just for information. Since this high, is the market still interested? See, this is how I think, Rob. Since this high, is the market still interested in pumping more money into the market? You get what I'm saying? Since this high, is the market still interested in pumping the market? Since this low, all right, so I'll plant one on the low, is the market still interested in pumping money into the market? Or are they just not that interested anymore and money's coming out of the market? You see what I'm saying? Since FOMC statement, all right, is money coming over VWAP, over anchored VWAP or under? Well, it was riding up over and then it crossed under it, right? But then they rallied right back up over it. Okay, so you see what I'm saying? That's the kind of information that I'm looking for. So I'll plant one on a high and one on a low. And I want to see, since this low, is money getting pumped into the market or is money coming out? So you notice since this high, See us, we're spending a whole lot more time under anchored VWAP than we are over anchored VWAP. What does that tell you? Money is coming out of the market, right? That's what it means to me. And that's what makes sense to me. So, see, money is running away from anchored VWAP to the downside. Money runs away. See how price runs away? That means money's coming out. All right? And now money starts coming in. See that? Money's coming in. It starts to blast off right to anchored VWAP and then pass right over it. And then keep catapulting up to the upside. Okay, so I like to put one on the low and one on the high. So like for this low, I would definitely put one there on that low. I would definitely put one there on that high. I'd definitely put one on the FOMC statement. And I definitely put one on the previous day's opening candle because all of those mean something to me. Since this event, and a market high is an event, and a market low is an event. Earnings is an event. FOMC announcement, that's an event. Okay, since this event, is money coming in or coming out? You see what I'm saying? And that's the way it makes sense. I don't complicate it. Other people have, all kinds of funky things. Well, this does this and this does that. No, I just make it simple. Since this event, is money coming in or coming out? And this is the line that's going to tell me. Okay? All right? Is it moving toward that line or away from the line? Is it moving under the line or back toward the line? This is the one line that's really tried and true because it takes into account all of the shares that are traded. It takes into account all of the price they traded at. So that's the line. That's like the be-all line that I want to know. And that's what makes the most sense to me. Is money coming in or coming out? And that's the line that's going to tell me, if that makes sense. Yeah, I do the high and the low. Not on the previous day. I always put it on the opening candle, Rob. Yeah. John, am I doing 70 delta calls? I like to. Sometimes, hey, B12. Sometimes I don't want to be that much in the money because I'm a fast trader. And some of my trades, let me just say this, they don't last all day. So I may trade something with, I don't know, maybe a 60 delta or an 80 delta that expires on Friday. Okay? I love Friday options, B12, because there's a lot more liquidity on Fridays. And if you want to find out how to tell that, let me see if I can find it for you. No, that's not it. That's not it. I'll just open it up for you. All right. So if you ever want to see what, I come down here, I go to Max Payne. Okay. Now you notice what's Friday. Friday's the 12th. So you look over here on the 12th. You see how many more options expire on Friday? All right. 469 out of the money puts. All right. 255 out of the money calls. See that? This tells me more action happens on Friday. Let's go a week ahead. All right, this is the 19th. There's the 19th. Oh, we got 3 million. See, that's a monthly option right there. See those? So I like to play the Fridays. I'm not against playing the weekdays, but I like to play the Fridays because I got more open interest and more liquidity. All right. And I really like to play the monthlies. All right. Notice you got $1 million here, $1 million there, 100,000 there, 3 million there. See that? And they're expecting 455. That's max pain. Okay. Do you remove the out of the date anchored VWAP, and if so, when? When it's no longer useful, I remove it. T. And I can always put it back in, and you can too. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't have to worry about it. Sometimes, I got to tell you, sometimes when I'm doing teaching, they get in my way. And sometimes when I'm trading, they get in my way. All right. If price didn't do anything when it went and it just passed through it like a hot knife through butter, and it didn't do anything, then that VWAP is really irrelevant right now. But if price comes back down to it and bounces on it, then it becomes relevant. So as long as they're in my price range. Now, like if something's moving and we're like $4 away from it, $8 away from it, you know, probably not going to keep it on my chart, or, you know, I really prefer them to be close to where I'm trading. I just go to another chart. As you can see on this one right here, okay, you don't see me pull this chart up very often. Why? Well, here's an anchored VWAP that's, you know, let's just say where it is. All right, it's down here, 419. We're up here, 475. So I really don't use this chart. I use the chart where these are the ones that I want. Yeah, I want that one on the 13th. I want that one on the high, and I want that one on the low. Now, I cleared some of them off. Actually, you can see that one there. I just toned it down. You can see I've got one here, and I've got one on the 13th, and I'm going to put one for tomorrow when I do the intraday 10-minute right there. Okay? So this one is going to get moved up to here because that's the first candle of the day right there. Not the red one, it's a green one, Rob. Right there. And then these are the other two. Here's the FOMC, and this is the high of the year. The high of last year right there. So these are the three I'm working with right now. So I just go to another chart, okay? T. As you can see, I don't use that chart, and I just leave it. I go to another chart that has everything that I want to work with on it. Now, if it's cluttering it up, you can just take it off, but you probably have 2 or 3 charts on the same one. All right, so Goodson, Goodson asks, do I feel I would be just as successful if you just trade calls and puts only, no spreads, keep it simple? I don't know. I really like to do spreads. I've done a lot of spreads where I've made a lot of money, Goodson, where I've rolled those spreads down. I had call spreads and price was coming down, and I rolled the short strike down, and I made, you know, a whole lot of money by rolling the strike down every time price dropped. So every product has a use. For me, I'm pretty good with spreads, so I enjoy them. So, but I like calls and puts. But I mean, you got something that's going against you. You can either close it out or convert it to a spread. You know what I'm saying? And it's your call. But I just love trading spreads, and I love converting because I'm not ready to just exit that position yet. I'll just like comfort it with I'll just sell some calls against it for the meantime. Okay. And Malcolm's got gold. Malcolm, I'm going through. I'm looking for questions, people. Do I have trend indicator on my charts? Yes, I do. See the green dots? I do have trend indicator. I do. I don't use it that much. When I do the daily analysis, the people know that, I'm constantly referencing, hey, the 3A trap has now came up over the trend indicator. 3A trap is crossed down below the trend indicator. Yes, I use it a lot more on the daily chart when I'm doing market analysis in the morning than I do throughout the day. Yeah. Hey, Mel. Mel said I got in late. And what is the pink line? The pink line is this one right here is an anchored VWAP, anchored on the high of last year. And if you saw another chart with a pink line, and I'm trying to find it for you. Maybe it was on my PowerPoint. I'm just going to drag this over because maybe you were talking about that. This was probably what you're talking about. Now that is my anchored VWAP. That's my 2-day anchored VWAP that was anchored back there. And again, the anchored VWAP. See how I anchored my VWAP on the first 10-minute candle of the previous day. Remember we traded this, Mel? We did magic with this. Right there. The pink line isn't the pink line is VWAP. It's anchored VWAP. Mel. That one is anchored VWAP. My gold line's always regular VWAP. You'll see it right. I just got to crank it up. I think I toned it back. Oh, where is it? Oh, I know why I can't see it because I'm not on the intraday chart. There we go. There it is, right there. So my gold line, this gold line, that's my regular VWAP. This pink line is the VWAP that's planted on the high of last year. And this purple line is planted on the 10-minute candle prior to the FOMC announcement. Right there. Okay. And VR said, do I ever trade the 821 crossover? No, I do not. I may do it in unknowingly, VR, but I stick with the 3.8 on the 10. That's my preferred. And I like to manage on the 15. That's my preferred trade. I do so much better with that one. How do I set stops when using VWAP? I find a low. You got a low right here. Market makes a low. That's where you put your stop right there. Market takes off. You probably want to put your stop 6 cents below low of day. Market makes another higher low. You want to put your stop 6 cents below that low. Market puts in a big candle. You want to move your stop. For me, I like to move my stop. I'm not telling you where to move your stop. For me, I like to move my stop after market puts in a higher low right there. When market puts in a big candle, I like to put part of my stop here and part of my stop at the third of the candle. I don't want to lose that big candle. Okay. Notice how the pullback came halfway down that big candle. So I like to put it at a third. See how the move came from here up to here, came back to like the halfway point. So right here at the third, I don't want to lose that big candle. Same when you got a wick that takes off, you want to move your stops up. Take profit into that. You can always reload. Back down here. So I move my stops up like that. Just stair step them all the way up. A lot of times we get up into these, I'll start setting them, I'll start layering them out. You know, sell 2 contracts at, 852, sell 2 contracts at 850. There'll be stop orders. Sell 2 contracts at 848. I'll just layer them in. And if it runs through all of them, I'm happy when it does, because that means I printed money that day. And then I reload and I look for that bounce to happen. Can we have a class? Yeah, I was planning on doing that tomorrow. It's either tomorrow or Thursday, Jack. And I will do that and make it available on YouTube if you're not in the room. You kind of get a lot with the lines because they're not labeled. And I get it, Mel, but the deep purple line that's the FOMC anchored VWAP right here. Were you with me on the 8th? On Monday? Were you in the room? Were you in all day? Because there was a time when I did state what each one was. And you probably weren't. I think you showed up a little bit later. Yeah, calls. Okay, Carol says calls. Hey, Carol. Do you place bull calls or bear calls? Well, I do bull call spreads and bear call spreads. I try very hard not to sell naked calls. When converting a long. Yeah, well, if I'm converting a long, it's going to be converted into most likely a bear call spread. Unless, of course, I just think it's temporary, then I'll make it a bull call spread. It'll just be a debit spread instead of a credit. How do you know when it will be a choppy day? I got these two right here. All right, so I watch FNGU. I got it on a 15, and I put a trend indicator on it, Sean. And if the market's moving, if the FNGU, now the FNGU can carry the whole market. These 10 stocks are so weighted inside of the SPY and the QQQ that when these 10 stocks move, they can carry the whole load right here. All right, pretty much. All right, because it's like Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, all the big tech, big boys right there. When they start moving, they can just carry the whole load. It doesn't matter if all the other stocks are moving down sometimes. If they're moving up, they'll just carry the whole indice up. So this is the big one that I watch. And I look, is it green? Is it red, green, red, green, red, green? Or is it all red? Notice the majority of the day was green. I really like it when space opens up. See when space opens up between trend indicator and price action? Right there. That's a nice clue to go long right there. That. Now, where's my other thing? T2122. All right, so I'm just going to back out a little bit more. All right, so this is the way I set mine up. All right, I got 90 to 100 is my overbought zone, 76.10 to 90, that's the buy zone. Below 76.10 all the way to the 50-yard line, that's the buyer's chop zone. From the 50-yard line to the 22, that's the seller's chop zone. And then from 22 to 10, that's the sell zone. and then the oversold zone. Now notice, we have not hit the sell zone since October 30th. You notice that? Been in the chop zone several times, but we have not hit the sell zone or the oversold zone since October 30th right there. And more than likely, when you're in the chop zone, you get chopped. But I keep a good eye on this one. This is my favorite one to keep an eye on. You see how price is up over VWAP right there? That's just regular daily VWAP right there. Carol says, do you place bull calls or bear calls when adjusting to go down? If I have something bullish and it's just doing a pullback, sometimes I will place a bear call or a bull call. I look at it and see if the bigger picture is still going up. If it's still going up, then I'll place, sometimes I just place a bull call debit spread. In other words, I think that I'm not going to hold these for long. I know price has a good chance of bouncing when it gets to a certain spot. Your keyboard, no problem, Carol. I'm not worried about it. I understand what you're asking. And Rob says, I can't move my... No, you cannot. You cannot move your VWAP. All right? It comes in, it goes one spot. There's only one setting for it. All right? And that's it. You cannot move it. There's no outer bands or anything like that. All right? It's only anchored VWAP that you can move around. Now, I think, Rob, if you like playing with anchored VWAP, I'm just going to see if I can find you something. I think Wall Street IO may have an anchored VWAP on it. I'm just going to look real quick for you. All right. There it is. Okay, this is free, Rob. All right, so you got anchored VWAP right here. This Wall Street IO, you can sign up for this. It's free. Okay, so if you're interested in doing what I do with anchored VWAP, it won't be on your TC1000. All right, but you can get it for free on Wall Street IO, and they've got anchored VWAP right there. Okay. I hope that helps you. You find it hard to read anchored VWAP? Hey Mel, don't overcomplicate it, okay? Just plant it on an event. All right? Like for me, just simplify it. All right? You know I have a very simple trade. 3 crosses over the 8 on a 10-minute chart. That's my simple trade. It's over VWAP. I want in. That's my flagship trade right there. All right? 3 over the 8, over VWAP, I'm in. That's it. That's my flagship trade. Don't overcomplicate with the anchored VWAP. Just take one and plant it somewhere. Let's just plant one right now. All right? Right here. Here's the low. All right. Is price moving? Here it is right here. Is price moving up and away from that anchored VWAP? And the answer is yes. So money's flowing into the market. So you want to be a bull, right? It's really that easy. Okay? And when it stops, let it pull back. When green candle takes out red candle, okay, then you jump back in. All right? If it's pulling back, you just let it pull back. When it crosses back under VWAP, all right, and then it starts moving down and away, all right, then you want to play that 10-minute trend under it. Right, Mel? You don't have to have 20 different VWAPs. You can just have one. You can plant one on the low of day or just plant one on the day before, okay, on the day before's opening candle, and just watch price. Is price moving up and away from it? Then you want to be a bull. If it's moving down and below it, all right, then you want to be a bear. If it's just spiking into it and giving you these rubber band candles, then you want to be indifferent. You're not ready. It's not ready to be traded yet. Not until it breaks that rubber band candle. Okay? Notice price spiked VWAP here and went up. Came back, kissed it, and then went up. Came back, almost embraced it there, but came up short and went back. Came back here, went up. Came back here, went up. You see that? It's being, if I was to say something, my statement would say price is being supported by VWAP. And that would appear to be true, as price could not close a single candle, a complete candle open, below VWAP. They spiked it a few times, but they were still unable to close a complete candle below it. Does that help you, Mel? Mel, I want you to get this because you're in my room, and it's important to me that you get this, because this is more valuable than volume and a lot of other stuff out there. This is the average price. This tells you market direction, security direction. Do I have 50% drawdown at times in my account? I don't know. That's kind of a weird question. I did have some drawdowns when I did this. So I guess you could say, yeah, I did. But then again, Bruce, I was up to $224,000. Was I in fact playing with the house's money? You know what I'm saying? When I'm playing with the house's money, I'm going to have a little bit more, I'm going to feel a little bit more like Superman. Okay, I did come back pretty harsh right there. I went from 224 down to 126. That's probably 50%, pretty darn close to 50% drawdown right there. But got to remember, I was also, I started with 32 and I was playing with house money. So does that concern you, Bruce? Is that a problem? No? Okay. I mean, I'm a pretty good trader. I do a whole lot of winning, but I do mistakes. All right? So I'm not perfect. I've had some bad days. We're all going to have bad days. Got to just learn from them. So yeah, I had a rough couple of weeks or a month right there. Yep, that's right. Malcolm said it best. We were starting to understand that zero DTE is not the best vehicle to play with. They might hand you the keys, but you might want to just pass on that car and pick up something else. Yep, we shifted to Friday options. That's right. Yeah, zeros are hard. Zeros are hard. I mean, you got to be snappy fast with them. And I'm pretty fast, but I made some mistakes, Bruce, right through there. And I've turned a lot of it around, as you can see. I went from 126 up to 8, and I kind of just stopped using zeros DTE trades. Jack, yeah, no, you really wouldn't. Believe me, when you do that, Jack, let me just say, there's a darkness that comes across you. I know what you're saying, Jack, but believe me, there was a darkness within inside me when that happened, and there was a necessity to make some change. John, will I be resetting the room to 30K? Yeah, I'm doing 100 right now because I couldn't find a 30K, but I'm working on getting a 30K account. I'm only using 30K of the 100. I know that's probably confusing to you. All right, because remember, if I got 30K, I mean, in my personal E-Trade account, I have $120,000 worth of buying power. But on some paper platforms, they only give you double. So I'm only using 30K of that account anyways. But I plan on picking that 30K up pretty soon here. Or I could just double what I got and bring it up to 100, and then I wouldn't have to go get a 30K because I would have traded all the way up to 100. YouTube, John, can you show how to do knee surgery? So I'm thinking about setting up a 30. Am I trading with real money? No, I trade a demo account live in front of you. Carol, I trade a demo account. It's this one right here. Okay? It gives you the fills and the orders. And let me just say, Carol, I hate it. I hate it. I really hate it. I hate this platform. I can't stand it. It just, it gives, see now it says I made $42,000 today, trading gain. And I know that's wrong. That's wrong. I didn't do 42,000. So, have I ever considered to use TC2000 as a broker? I have, but I haven't pulled the trigger yet. You don't like it either. I wish. Yeah, I may. Right now, I'm just using the 30,000 out of that 100 right now. And then I'm working on turning in some paperwork so I can get going on the other one. All right, any questions on VWAP and anchored VWAP? Because I'm gonna end this. All right. Any more questions on anchored VWAP and VWAP? I want to help you. Mel, did you get it? Because if you did not, I will work with you all morning till you get it. You're in my room, and I want you to... You're going to watch the recording. Okay. And you ask me tomorrow morning, Mel, any question. All right? So I want you to get this. I think there's a good lesson here that can help you. All right. All right, everybody. Good night. Thanks for being here. Don't forget, trials are only $24.50. Ed posted the link up above. All right. You just scroll up here. All right. You just scroll up right here to Ed Carter. Right here at 9:05. Okay. And there's the link. If you want to get a trial, $24.50. They give you 30 days in the BYOB room. All right. You want to see what it's like in the BYOB room? We smash out alerts all the time. I just shared some earlier. All right. See, here's the first target hit, gap fill, boom, bingo, all the time, bingo. Next target hit, bingo. Here we go. SPY, 472.40, fifth target hit today, bingo, right there. We just do this all day long. All right? Think about it. They're only $24.50. I'd love to have you in my room. I'd love to help you. All right? Everybody have a beautiful evening. Thank you for being here. All right? I wish you all the best in your trading. I hope you all have a prosperous year. Okay? I hope you all get to double your accounts at least once this year. Brent had a great day today. Way to go, Brent. Brent shared it with the room. He nailed it. Wow. Malcolm did too. Malcolm, great day. Congrats to everybody in the room that made it today and yesterday. Two awesome days in a row. Thanks. All right, everybody. Tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock. All right. If you're not in the room, you can see the recording on YouTube.